Hello and welcome to a new Opel. It's called the Mokka X, or Mokka as I like to call it, and it is the first Opel to wear the X badge, which means that it's a crossover. Yes, whenever you see the X badge on an Opel, it means that it's a crossover. But for this facelift, they have updated the styling a little bit. The grille now has a wing thing going on, and the headlight now has this very striking double blade LED, and that's about it. But the biggest change has been to the interior. One of our biggest complaints about the pre-facelift Mokka X was the infotainment system. It wasn't particularly easy to use, and it left the center console festooned with buttons. Great word that, festooned. Anyway, this new Mokka X is now fitted with Opel's IntelliLink system. It's standard on the Cosmo models, but it's an optional extra on the Enjoy models, and we reckon it's really worth having. It looks really good, it's a breeze to use, it's got sat-nav, and it will properly integrate with your smartphone. Apple CarPlay is already available, and Android Auto will only start working when Google decides to authorize it for South Africa. And I really wish they'd hurry up already. Opel have decided to stick with the same 1.4 litre turbo petrol engine, which it shares with a number of other General Motors products like the Chevrolet Cruze, for instance. And you'd better like this engine because it's the only one you can buy in a Mokka X. There's no diesel, for instance. It's not a bad little motor, but it behaves best when you treat it gently. As soon as you start to demand more from it, it starts to complain a bit. So, that sort of thing. And the good news is that it's quite efficient. We've been averaging 7.7 litres to the 100, which is really not bad, and Opel claims 5.4 litres to the 100, which is a bit ambitious. You can have your Mokka X with either a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed auto, but given that the auto is just 11,000 Rand more than the manual, we reckon opt for the auto. It's super smooth and it'll just make your life a bit easier, especially in stop-start traffic.
The Mokka X is quite a curious size. It's not as compact as a Nissan Juke or Ford EcoSport or Mazda CX-3, but not as big as a Qashqai, Vitara or Mazda CX-5.
What this means though is that you have a car which is quite compact, relatively short, easy to park and hustle around the city, but it can still fit a full-size adult in the back seat, which is a problem we had with cars like the CX-3. It was just too tight in the back. I mean, look how much knee room I have. And these back seats have a bit of a trick up their sleeve.
This is a really nifty feature which ensures a flat load area and triples your load space. We think the Mokka occupies quite a unique space in the SA market. Pricing for the Mokka starts at 317,000 Rand, while the top spec model is about 12,000 Rand cheaper than the Mazda CX-3, which is one of our favorite cars in the segment. But with a much bigger boot and larger rear passenger space, the Mokka is definitely the more practical of the two, and maybe even more stylish.
Yo, check this out.